Human rights activists are petitioning the United Nations Special Rapporteur on Counter-Terrorism to investigate the Kenyan government over mysterious disappearances of persons in the hands of law enforcers. The activists and a section of political leaders held a march to day for the disappeared and are accusing the government of condoning extrajudicial killings.
His family has not heard of his whereabouts either and still hold dearly to this footage captured by the CCTV cameras from their shop, showing the very last time he was seen. Attempts to get police to be futile, and even since they sought the help of KTN to air their plight, no one has come forward with any information on the same. And it is such cases that brought together human rights activists, politicians and the many other families whose kin are either missing or are found murdered under mysterious circumstances. Together, they marked the International Day for the Disappeared, and it was here at the Nairobi's Freedom Corner that the conversations began.
Swala hili sio swala la Waislamu peke yake. Swala hili ni la Wakenya wote. Hatuwezi tukakubali chini ya vizingizio kwamba ni vita dhidi ya ugaidi, wananchi wa Kenya waanze kumalizwa moja kwa moja, familia kuachwa yatima,
ambao wamedhulumiwa, wamepoteza maisha, na tukao na evidence kwamba hao watu wamekufa wakazikwa na tunajua mahala wamezikwa.
But that was not just it. They further held a march to mark the day with placards bearing the messages condemning the disappearances. But it was their arrival at a Nairobi hotel that the bone of contention emerged. The Kenyan government came under sharp criticism over its alleged strategy to countering terrorism in the country, that is, the extrajudicial killings and instilling of fear to its people. Even further, it emerged that the strategy is characterized by singling out and profiling specific communities in the country.
We will petition the United Nations Special Rapporteur on Counter-Terrorism and Human Rights to investigate Kenya and the Anti-Terrorism Police Unit, whose activities are the Kenya Defense Forces, and the Anti-Terrorism Police Unit, whose activities are not clear and in keeping with the radical human rights constitution.
We must continue with the struggle, because what is happening, the objective of this enforced disappearances is some form of social cleansing or political cleansing.
For you to get the unconditional support of the West is for you to say Islamic terrorists. Shout loud. If it doesn't exist, create it. I'm not saying that it does not exist, it does exist. But the manner it's being done around, it looks like there's a process to create it so that you can carry favors with the West.
I mean, for hundreds of years we have had those madrasas in this country doing exactly the same thing. They have been graduating students. Those students have been memorizing Quran. Madrasas have been there. Mosques have been there. The Quran is the same one. Why didn't we have terrorism all those years? I mean, it's not the institutions, it's not the religion, it's the people, it's the individuals. So why don't you look for individuals who are involved in these things?
If it is not the state, isn't the state worried that there is a breakdown of law and order? What are they doing about it? It has happened once too many for us to think it is not the state. The only conclusion is that it is the state and it is people they have sent, and if not, they are encouraging the situation.
The International Day of the Disappeared, marked on the 30th of August, is a day created to draw attention to the fate of individuals imprisoned at places and under poor conditions unknown to their relatives and without legal representation.
As to whether extrajudicial killings exist in the country or not is still a mystery, as most of the time the cases linked to it either have little or no evidence at all. The government has through time denied these allegations. In the meantime, human rights activists say they do have indeed enough evidence to show that it exists. Meanwhile, those suffering are the families of those people who've disappeared, and their only hope seems to be the judicial system. Ian Wafula, KTN News, Nairobi.